So, as a result of that, like I said, in the 80s, I believe, obviously it was worse. The RPD basically targeted my dad. They would harass him, intimidate him on an almost daily basis. I mean, he literally, if he just went to the corner store to play the lottery or to get a gallon of milk, they would fuck with him. In fact, I recall one day he borrowed my car because in the driveway where we lived on Child Street, shout out to the west side, Ghost Town, Rock City, 585. Sometimes if I was parked behind him, behind my dad's car in the driveway, um, he would naturally take my car to go to the store if he didn't want to walk or it was raining or whatever. And I recall one day he just went up the street to the store, corner store, and on his way back, police, Rochester, New York police officer basically followed him and was hitting the that they have on their the alarm, the horn they hit, and just to fuck with him for no reason. They didn't pull him over, whatever, just little shit. Sometimes it's a psychological thing. And it's what I tell people sometimes, that worse than any physical beating is a psychological abuse. That's what really takes its toll on people. And that's what took its toll on my dad. So like I said, some of you know, and others new to the channel may not get why, what's up with this, bald-headed, angry Cuban guy? Like, does he hate the cops, or what is his deal, and what is his problem? Or, some of the comments that I read sometimes, usually just scroll past, but, I get it. I get the fact that a lot of people, they vent their anger and frustration at me because it's easier to pick someone, right? To make someone your target. It's much harder to accept the fact that the very same people that we have been taught from an early age, many of us, are there to protect and serve us. The very same people, like I was taught at an early age when Officer Friendly came to my elementary school, Jonathan Child 21 school. He came to my third grade class, and I remember being so excited. He handed out the coloring books, and of course, he was a Rochester, New York police officer, but he had that Officer Friendly designated role to visit school children. And, it was the whole stranger danger and, beware of strangers. And if you're in trouble, the police are the good guys. And I totally bought into that shit. Totally, completely ate it right the fuck up. And so have a lot of people, even people watching this right now. So whether they're in denial, or it's just much easier to label me a cop hater, or to post the most disturbing comments about me, my family, my children have been threatened. The police has ignored it. The Monroe County, New York District Attorney's Office has ignored the threats. I have stalkers who literally all day, every day, just obsess about me and post the most disturbing stuff, on social media. And so it's much easier, and to a certain extent, I understand that it's much easier to blame me, like it's my fault that cops are corrupt, than to basically admit that, hey, our criminal justice system is really fucked up. But, again, those of you that know, after about a year and a half, almost 2 years of the Rochester, New York Police Department just fucking with my dad, making his life literally miserable, harassing him, intimidating him, and basically they selected. It was a selected target thing that they did. And like I said, the worst kind of abuse is psychological abuse, worse than any physical beating. In my opinion, worse than the worst videos you may see of cops physically beating someone, slamming them, punching them, tasering them, is a psychological abuse that police inflict on people, and many times on people that dare to stand up to them. So my dad, committed suicide after a while of this intimidation by the Rochester, New York Police Department. And I'm sorry to rant and go on and get long-winded here, but I just feel like I want to share more and more with the viewers. The channel is getting more and more viewers. I think we're almost like at 3,200 or whatever. And I've had the channel for a while, but I never really I kind of had it just there, set up. And lately is what I've been adding more content, and I appreciate every single one of you. Even the haters. I want to address something real quick. People keep saying, why don't you block this person or block that person, and some really disgusting, disturbing comments, right? And I understand that, but I'm so much an American. I'm so much proud to be an American that I know it's going to sound crazy to a lot of you, especially those of you who have supported me and always defend me. And I appreciate that so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. But what I need you to understand is that I can't um, I can't block someone's, basically First Amendment right. I get that it's YouTube. I get that it's a channel. But I'm so much an advocate for free speech and the right to record and the right that I can stand on a corner right now and denounce, for example, the Rochester Police Department and their long history of abuse and corruption in the city. That by the same token, I don't want to censor anyone. And to be honest, even more than that, even more important than that is the fact that I want people to see. I want people to see just the hatred that's out there. And I want to say the un-American hatred, because we are a country that talks about supporting our military and we're the strongest country and our patriotism and all this. But yet you see how somebody like me, without even knowing my full story, certain individuals have taken it upon themselves to target me, to target my family, to threaten my children, to say the nastiest, most disturbing stuff. I posted a video on Mother's Day about three very important women in my life: my grandmother, who I never met, my mom, who has dementia, which is a horrible, horrible thing to go through, where they don't recognize you. You know what I mean? That's it's very hard. And my aunt, who recently passed away in Miami, Florida, and people disliked the video, and people posted the most nastiest comments. So, these individuals are really sick. They're really, really disturbed individuals, and I myself, don't pay attention to it. I do see the comments every now and then. I don't go out of my way to read them. If anything, knowing that they're out there and these individuals are out there just motivates me and drives me more to continue to do what I do, and just fuels my passion. But again, I'm sorry. I know it's a long video. I just really miss my dad, and I just want to thank each and every one of you who checks this channel out and watches these videos. And I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.